Do you remember, Rook, when I mentioned another ceremony I must perform at the Memorial Gardens? The time has come. I was hoping you'd accompany me again.
More grave lighting?
No, this would be a more personal visit, whenever you've time. Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant names. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose bush.
That must have been frustrating.
He knows he's not supposed to play in the horticulture. Oh, Manfred, whatever will happen to you if I pass on?
If?
Ah, there's something I'd like to talk about. Do you know what a lich is, Rook?
Doesn't ring a bell?
A lich is a mage transformed into one of the undead while retaining their true, original consciousness. The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
Who?
The Lich Lords of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
You think that's good?
I was their first living petitioner in some time. The Liches are the great protectors of the necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
That's great for a necromancer, right?
It is a singular opportunity.
Good?
Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted years. But there are considerations. Come, we have flowers to gather for the dead.
Okay, but I've got questions.
Blue creepvine. This will do nicely.
Emric, aren't most undead just random spirits inside corpses?
Liches are different. It wouldn't be a spirit acting in my name. My true consciousness would be housed in my departed flesh.
How?
The Order must keep some secrets. Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Smells like perfume. Do liches have a sense of smell?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The Liches of the Necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them when?
Certain elements have held me back. There's no ready instructions for Lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to...
No, mercifully, that falls to another watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond.
So, what's holding you back from Lichdom?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice! The promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
Emmerich, you've spent your life preparing for this, and it could still fail.
You say nothing that hasn't hounded me. Traditionally, candidates for Lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkos? She's a lich.
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for Lichdom. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure. So, what's a half-lich exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of Lichdom and failed. Stuck in her in-between state, she is supremely dangerous, but can't learn any new magic.
No wonder Hezenkos was shouting so much.
No, she's always been that way.
What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkos avoided?
The spirits of the Necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of Lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge when we were colleagues. She apparently put together more than I knew. It would be just like her to skip the rituals, the cleansings, the preparations of the soul.
For a watcher, Hezenkos is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about them.
They're so susceptible to the world's whims, Rook. Some spirits are dangerous, but how quickly most respond to a bit of kindness or care, or simple attempt to understand. For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting Lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear. And of course, time to read all of one's books.
Of course.
But how she's abused her abilities. Are my intentions enough to fare better?
Worrying's a good sign.
We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you. Here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
in memory of Rupert and Eleanora Volcarin. They walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim, early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom.
What would they have wanted me to be?
I can tell you what I think they'd want you to be.
What's that?
Happy. You could always speak with your folks, couldn't you?
My parents last saw me as a boy. By the time I mastered my corpse whispering, I was a man. If I woke them, there might be a flash of recognition, or... Besides, if I speak to too many other spirits, Manfred might grow jealous.
Can't have that.
He'd be impossible, I agree.
No. I had to kill a man once who did blood magic on nugs. 100 little pigs with hands came after me. All together in one big writhing ball. Have you ever tried to stab a ball of angry nugs? That was a bad job.
I've got a better one. You know what the Wandering Hills are named for? It's a monster. Big heap of red tentacles that crawls around, devouring everything in its path. The damn thing was a hillside, the size of a village. You try fighting a hill with a sword sometime.
How did you kill it?
Lamp oil. Everything stank of burnt tentacles for miles after.
If the two of you were going to open a bottle, you might have told me first.
It's not a good bottle.
Might have to pick up a supply. I have a feeling we'll need it. Is anyone else hungry? Maybe I should cook something.
What about you, Rook? What's the worst job you've ever been on?
Nevin Harding didn't tell you about our hunt for Solus, then?
They don't tell it the way you would.
I mean, it ended with the elven god of lies in my head. Is that enough to win the worst job contest?
You joining us then?
Fine. I'll cook something, if Rook's staying.
Maybe just for a minute.
Rook's story first. Then Lucanus owes me one about this contract on a Bronto.
Mierda. That Bronto.
Demon's back.
I don't think he ever leaves, actually.
Then he's acting weird.
Smells like melon and wood smoke.
Hey! No! No! Sit your ass back down.
I'll handle this. Maybe make sure the Alluvian room is blocked.
Now we get to talk.
When demons say they want to talk, that usually means they want to bargain.
Lucanus made a deal he hasn't kept.
What deal?
break our chains, kill, escape our prison, and live?
Isn't that what happened?
No! I want out!
You got your freedom. Maybe it's not what you imagined, but that's not Lucanus's fault.
We had a deal. He listened to you. Tell him! Make him! Rook?
You were sleepwalking.
Spite was sleepwalking.
He didn't go anywhere. Nothing happened.
I didn't want you to see that. Again.
Nothing I'm seeing makes me want to look away.
How do you always do that?
Do what?
Break apart my perfectly gathered clouds of doom. You deserve better than to deal with my mess.
You're more than what you're going through. And you wear it well.
This isn't a good idea.
Sometimes a bad idea is better.
You like to walk a little too close to the edge.
So do you.
At least I know I'm doing it. I need to clear my head. Excuse me.
Is that Zara Renata? This place isn't big enough to keep every corpse you guys find.
Zara spoke to Ilario before she died. Emmerich can talk to the dead. I have to know.
I wouldn't have offered my skills if I thought it was unsafe. Let flame rekindle your sight. Let breath and light rise again. Tell us about Ilario della Morte.
Martyrs. He fooled us both.
Elaborate.
You took what he wanted most in this world. More than coin, pleasure, family.
The title of First Talon.
Ilario had you imprisoned and tortured for a promotion.
The job was to kill you. But this one doesn't waste those with potential.
Yeah, that's not any better.
And Katerina? Did Ilario hire you to kill her?
No.
Ilario used blood magic to control Spite. How? He's not a mage.
Our risen god gives many gifts.
Elganon. Ilario's working with Elganon.
Her spirit strong. Haste would be appreciated.
Let her go. We've heard enough.
I'm sorry, Lucanus.
So am I.
What are you going to do?
Take away everything from him. Rook, you're here.
Is something wrong?
Biago and Thea sent word. They have information about Ilario. Whatever it is, they wish to speak away from Treviso, away from anyone who might be listening. They won't put more to paper. I need to meet with them as soon as possible. Long night?
I'm still getting used to the dream thing.
What was your dream about?
Tomatoes. Or maybe they were apples?
At least it wasn't the one where you show up to a job naked from the waist down.
Huh. Where did you put your extra knives?
How are the threads?
Ready to take Aelia off the board, if we knew where she was. Are you really the demon of Vibrantium?
Why do you ask?
We like to get to know our visitors. If you're ever bored, I've got Venatori I could point you at. Rook, I don't suppose you know someone who can take 10 high-quality broken mage staffs off my hands?
Broken?
Yeah, the guy who brought them in, he's new.
Any interesting news?
I've got nothing you don't already know. If I find something good, yours, for a fair price.
You found something? About Ilario?
Possibly.
What do you mean, possibly? You have something or you don't?
It's Caterina.
We don't know that for certain.
Tell me.
I've got my eyes on Villa della Morte. One of them brought back one of Caterina's rings.
It had been thrown out with the trash. Ilario would never do that. He'd at least pawn it somewhere.
If the pawnbroker wouldn't take it, Ilario could have tossed it out in a rage.
The ring is priceless. Caterina's opal engagement ring.
She gave that ring to my mother. It was the mark of her favor. House Velardo killed my parents and sent it back to Caterina to demand she surrender the seat of First Talon. She's alive. Ilario, you idiot.
We need more eyes in the villa to say for certain.
Ilaria would tear the city apart searching if he'd lost this. How could she be alive? What is he thinking? How am I supposed to deal with this?
We need to plan a rescue. The sooner we get Katerina out of there, the better.
It could be a trap. We have to deal with Ilario first.
He could still kill her if we move against him. Maker knows what's in his head.
V, you're too pessimistic for your own good. Reason with him, Lucanis.
I thought I had a clear shot at my target. What if I go after him and get Katarina killed? Help us.
How? What do you need?
He'll listen. He always listens to you. Come.
What did you do? Where are we?
Lucanis is here. Always. Behind locked doors. I can't break through.
All right. Let's go get him.
Couldn't you simply die already? This experiment has gone on for far too long.
I know this place. It's the ossuary, the prison we freed Lucanis from.
Freed? No. We've always been here.
Okay, so I'm getting that this isn't the real ossuary. That's good, at least. Lucanis is in here somewhere, right? He's... what? Where they kept his blood?
Yes. Go there. The logs. Everywhere. I can't touch them.
How do I get past the locks? Turn myself into a mouse? Fight a bunch of giant spiders?
By getting past the guards. It's a prison.
Right. What was I thinking?
Promoted from flying vermin to malicious spirit. Whatever will you become next, I wonder?
Nobody's here.
Of course not. Rook can't be here.
Me? Why not?
You open doors. You don't close them.
Guzzling stuff. You can't dwell on this. It'll drive you mad.
From this crucible, a new Teventa shall be cast.
Rock, did you forget our deal? You were to bring my grandson back to me.
I did.
You brought me an abomination. Where is my grandson?
Tenderness and terror. Rage and relief. Old stale fear of disappointment.
This is the Fade. So this Katerina is... a spirit? Something like that?
No, Lucanis is mine. They won't dare. Thoughts live here. Ideas, feelings.
She's his idea of Katerina, then. Katerina. Lucanus is trapped, but I think you're part of his way out. Lucanus thinks he disappointed you. With that chaining him, he can never be free.
Is that what you want? To release a demon?
Lucanus is the one who's trapped by the idea he failed you. But you know he's not to blame.
My poor boy.
Envy is the rarest of all demons, most challenging to cultivate. Conditions must be perfect.
Yes, the Crow. You will learn to regret your crimes against the Venatori.
Don't worry, Rook. I've got my eye on the prisoner.
You've conjured up a friendly face, Lucanus. But your real friends and allies need you. In the real world.
Rook, are you sure Spite isn't tricking you? What if there's no Lucanus, just the demon?
After a year in the ossuary, you might believe that. But you're no demon.
Look around. This isn't the mind of a human being, let alone an Antivan Crow.
You're the man you were, Lucanus, even buried in this pain. No demon would punish itself like this.
You really shouldn't trust anything you find in the Fade.
I trust you, Lucanus. And I trust myself to get you home. Let me.
You know that's the kind of attitude that's gonna get you killed, right?
I'll risk it. I have a master assassin on my side, don't I?
Just be careful.
Even if it kills you.
Useless. All of this, utterly useless.
Hey, Rook. Should you be here? Can't say it's the safest place in the world.
Strangeness and charm. Something familiar and foreign at the same time. With a little guilt.
Somehow I thought Lucanus would think of Nev as being more... Tevinter?
Tevinter? People come in three kinds. Family, enemies, contracts.
I hope that's just Spite talking. Nev, you need to let us pass.
You know how he is, Rook. Even if you open the door, Lucanus won't walk through it. This is where he wants to be.
Well, I'm not leaving until Lucanus is all right, so we might be here a while.
You really think you can help him? You're such a sap, Rook.
I think it's time you stood aside and let me try.
Still fighting. tiresome. There's no point, you know. Nothing awaits you anymore. You're long dead.
If I were in charge, you wouldn't have to do this anymore. Rook, you're too good to be wasting your time in a place like this. Forget about my cousin. You've got much more important things to worry about, don't you? You've got the weight of the world on your shoulders. Sharp, jagged edges. Hurt with every breath. Grief and relief. Hope and anger mixed.
Lucanus, you don't owe Ilario a second thought, much less a supporting role.
He put us here. You've got to leave this be, Rook. You turn my cousin loose, it's only going to cause more grief.
I think Ilario will be feeling that grief. Right, Lucanus?
You know that Katarina had 5 children? 8 grandchildren. All dead now, except for Lucanus and me. Last time the Crows fought a war of succession, House de la Morte lost everything. Except the seat of First Talon. This time, we fight ourselves. What will be left then? You think you'll survive? Your friends? Your cause?
This scum doesn't get to speak for you, Lucanus. Everything that's happened is his fault.
Is it? Are you sure of that? Do you really think he made a deal with a demon? He's not even a mage. Or do you think maybe he just found the one there already? He'll carry this prison with him forever. And he'll fill it with corpses given time.
We need out!
You're an Antivan Crow, Lucanus. A professional. Trained to avoid collateral damage and go after the real enemy.
You have no idea what the consequences will be.
Whatever they are, Lucanus, I'll be there to help you.
I can't believe it. You're home. What are you doing here, Rook?
I had to find you. If anything happened to you, I can't even think about it.
You should go. It's better I stay here than risk losing you.
You see? He breaks our agreement. His mind is still here. He wants to stay here, so he keeps me here!
Mierda! Why would I want to stay? Even in my head, this place is a nightmare.
Right. But it's a nightmare you already defeated. I get it now. As bad as the ossuary was for you, it was better than the alternative.
What alternative?
The ossuary, Zara, you could solve those problems with the blade, but healing again? Living is an abomination. There's no simple answer there. And if you fail, you could hurt the ones you love.
No! This is not... Damn it, Rook!
Make him leave!
We can't. This isn't a place, it's a feeling. He already left the prison. He just took some of it with him.
Rook, you're right. There has to be a way through this. It's just so much. I cannot see how to begin.
Start small. You and Spite. Figure out a goal you can both agree on. Then make it happen.
A contract?
Contracts are for clients. Call this an alliance. But on what terms?
Didn't you just learn your grandmother was alive? What are you waiting for? Go rescue her.
That's true.
Fighting crows?
And anyone else that gets in our way. Do we have a deal? We free Katarina together.
Together, we will fight!
Rook, are you all right?
What's the matter with the two of you?
It's okay. We needed a moment, but I'd say we're ready for anything. How long were we standing here?
Just long enough for it to get awkward. You're sure you're all right?
We're fine, Thea. Don't waste your worry on us. Can I trust the two of you to keep an eye on Ilario? If he starts anything, I want to know about it.
I was going to do that anyway.
You're planning something.
I'm getting Katarina back. But Viago is right. We need more information before we move. Ilario panicked when I came back alive. If he panics again, he could actually kill her this time. We'll only get one chance at this.
Oh, great. Is it your turn to cook? What's all this gonna be?
Paella. Well, two of them. One without seafood for Emmerich. And a hazelnut torte for dessert. It pairs well with coffee.
Wait. Did you make dessert just for me?
There's enough for everyone.
As long as they don't mind having it with my favorite drink.
They won't complain.
You didn't have to do anything special for me.
Yes, I did. I still don't know how to apologize for everything. And you...
You made dessert. Just for me.
It's nothing. Or not enough.
It is. And you are. And I'll have you know, I'm very easily bribed.
I'll keep that in mind.